So where are we now? We started by identifying and understanding that the last thing we need is more clients. We desperately need more fans. We looked then at what needs to happen for that to change. And the first thing I looked at there was the TLC, the total life concept, where we've got to start to be out on the edge, being creative and innovative and embracing change and not getting stuck in the middle whilst patting ourselves on the back for how good all the stuff we've done in the past is. In other words, do you look like a business 5 years in the future or one 5 years in the past? From there, we started to understand the only way you're going to get those fans then is to wow, to delight, to inspire and surprise and stop serving people. Now, once we understood all that, we moved to the next area, which was how's that going to happen? Where's that wow going to come from? And that was what I called the critical factor in your business, your team. When we start to understand that everything that I need to happen can only happen with an engaged, educated, motivated, committed and passionate team, then I better start building a strategy around that. The next stage from there then, and I hear you already saying it, Alan, yeah, but how do you do that? How do I get my team engaged and passionate and motivated? Well, that's leadership. It comes from you. You've got to be, it's an ongoing process. You've got to be throwing that mud against the wall all the time. Sometimes people say to me, Alan, have I got to hold their hand all the way? Yeah, that's what we do. But to make it easier, it's much easier if you are then banging round pegs into round holes instead of square pegs into round holes, which is everything we've just talked about. So the final step, if we've got all of that working, is quite simply, I always say, don't just do it. Keep doing it. The final part of this plan is consistency. You can't just delight people on Tuesdays. It's got to happen consistently right the way through the team and every single day. Here's a little test for you. I want you to think of the person in your team that lets you down the most in terms of customer service. And I used the word on purpose that time, by the way. The person who lets you down the most, the person who isn't delighting, who isn't wowing, the person you'd like to pin up against the wall sometimes and say, just smile, will you? The one who can be a bit moody, who brings their personal problems into work, etc. Come on, I've been in this business long enough. Everybody's got someone that you can look at in your team and think, there's one or two that do let me down sometimes in terms of service. Okay, have you got someone in mind? Okay, you ready? What you're looking at right now is the standard of service that your business provides. Wow. In fact, some people argue with me. No, Alan, they say. No, we're really good. We have got one or two guys that really need to step up to the plate, but across the board, we're excellent at our service. I'm saying sorry. Because if I come into your salon or spa and that person deals with me, that's the standard of service you've just provided to me, and that's what I leave with. What you're looking at now is the standard of service that your business provides. It's called the weakest link in the chain. In other words, we don't just need to be consistent day to day, it's got to run right the way through the team. I hear you saying that, Alan, that's not easy. Nobody ever said it was easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Is it possible? Yes, because there are people out there doing it. But how do you do it? Well, we've talked about it already. Training, engaging, motivating, making sure people are passionate, but most of all, your leadership. Consistency starts at home. It starts with you. That's the first step. Okay, I've got something for you here. It's the secret of successful people. Would you like to know? I'll share it with you now. The secret of successful people, or by the way, the secret of successful companies. Now, the first thing you want to notice about that, singular, the secret of successful people, not secrets. You get books about the secrets. You hear about secrets of success. No. There's one, and only one. The secret of successful people, the secret of successful companies is quite simply that successful people do the stuff that unsuccessful people don't. It's that simple. But I'm going to add another word in. Successful people do the stuff that unsuccessful people don't consistently. Over and over and over again. The key to success is very simple. You take action and you keep taking action. And that's the only way this is going to work. So how do you do that? Well, that's where we start looking at things like systems and standards and procedures, because if you don't have those in place, you've got nothing to measure. And by the way, if you haven't got that stuff in place, how do you praise people, let alone reprimand them? How do we know what good performance looks like? How do I know able to say, you're performing way above standard, well done, as much as I might need to say, you're performing below standard? If those standards aren't there, or worse still, if they're just in your head, but nobody knows about them, that happens an awful lot with business owners. I know what all my standards are, and they just don't live up to them. Do they know what the standards are? Probably not. Well, a bit unfair that, isn't it? You see, when you know what your standards are and your team don't, you're never going to get consistency. And all you'll end up with is frustration. I call it irrational hatred. Sitting at home irrationally hating you people. It's completely irrational, but you've got to such a level of frustration. But that's not fair if they don't know what the standards are. So we need standards, we need systems, we need procedures, we need all that stuff. And then you need to use them consistently. Consistency starts at home. Look, you've all got certain levels of standards, of course you have. But are you consistently enforcing them? You know, I'm pretty sure every single person watching this has a start time. And I'm pretty sure you all say you mustn't be late. And I also know that you've got people that are late. How do you deal with that? Do you let it slide? Or is it being dealt with consistently?